Now, these brand new regulations represent a much needed piece of the jigsaw with regard to multi-occupied buildings, both sub 11 metres, 11 metres and above, and 18 metres above. And the work in these regulations aligns to the Building Safety Act. Both preventative and responsive fire safety activities are required of responsible persons. And in this webinar, we'll look at what those requirements are, including things such as safety planning, fire needs assessment, information, instructions, and liaison with emergency services. The responsible person must make a suitable and sufficient assessment of the risks to which relevant persons are exposed for the purposes of identifying the general fire precautions which he needs to take to comply. This applies to all buildings. If we look at the sub-bullet points, then we break down that phrase into accessible points. In order to be able to comply with the specifics of these new regulations, then a fire risk assessment is likely to be necessary. Responsible persons should know the floor plans and the building plans for each of their buildings. Sounds pretty obvious, but there's a lot of things to make sure that you know about and that are in your plans. In fact, there's 15 items in total. These include things such as identifying key locations, identifying firefighting equipment, firefighters' lifts if there are any, if there are any inlets, where the wet and dry risers are, what the controls and the shut-off panels are, where those are as well, access panels, shafts, and other sorts of information which the fire and rescue service need to know about the layout of the building.